Dollar Tree have so many different types of wreaths that you can use to decorate your home and create so many different projects. And in today's video, I'm going to show you 8 different ways that you can use to decorate now for fall.
To start this project, you are going to need corn husks, and you can get these at any supermarket or even Amazon, and I'm going to leave you a link in the description box. These corn husks are very wide and I need the pieces a little bit more thin, so I'm going to be breaking them in pieces to make those a little bit more thinner, and then I'm going to be sticking about 5 pieces together with hot glue and make them look like in different directions, and this is what will make my wreath look bigger and fuller. So I did a bunch of those. Then I'm going to be using this foam wreath from Dollar Tree. I want to change the color, so I'm going to be using some chalk paint in hazelnut color. I'm going to give it 1 coat and then I'm going to let it dry. Once my wreath is dry, I'm going to start sticking all of the corn husks. And basically what I need to do is to cover the whole foam wreath. So I'm going to be using some hot glue. Make sure that you completely cover the foam wreath. And you can keep sticking these corn husks until you think that your wreath looks big and full. From there, if you want to add an extra touch, I'm going to be using these. They are like dry grass. I don't even know where I get them. I have them for so long, but I'm going to be using these just to give it an extra touch and more dimension to my wreath. And I'm going to start sticking these in between the corn husks, and I'm going to be using just a little bit of hot glue. Once I was done, this is how my project turned out, and I really like it. I'm so happy and proud about this project. I think it looks beautiful, and it was so easy, fun, and cheap to make. Okay, let's try another idea that you can do with this foam wreath from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint it with the hazelnut color because I want to have a very neutral color on this wreath. Then I'm going to be using these white berries. I got them last year. They are from Christmas, but I think you can get them now for fall too, so keep an eye on that. And I'm going to cut the wire and I'm going to stick that on my foam. I'm going to stick all of the berries, and then I'm going to be using these fall leaves that you can get at Dollar Tree. These comes like in green and this brown color, and I'm only going to be using the brown color. I'm going to cut the wire and I'm going to stick those on my wreath too, in between the berries. And finally, for this type of wreath, I'm going to be using pumpkins. I get them from Dollar Tree, and this year they come with so many really cool options. I'm going to be using these 2 types of pumpkins in only 2 colors. I'm going to add a small wire to be able to put them on my foam wreath. Depending on the size of the wreath is the amount of like foliage and pumpkins or things that you're going to put on your wreath that you are going to need. This is a very small wreath, so I don't use that much, but it turns out super beautiful and it was so inexpensive. I really enjoy doing my own wreaths. I think that way they are beautiful and unique, and the amounts of things that you can do with wreaths is unbelievable. for this project, I'm going to be using this bicycle wheel wreath ring that I got from Dollar Tree, and I love this. It's the first time that I found this at Dollar Tree, so if you find one, you need to get it. It's so cool. It's made of metal, and what I'm going to be doing is to add another like wooden circle on top. I want these to look like super nice and real and with a high-end look, so I'm going to be adding a few pieces of wood in that circular shape to make the center pop out a little bit more. So basically I'm going to stick things that I just found at home. This wood has so many different colors and tones, so I'm going to be adding some wax in antique color, and I'm going to paint these to make sure that it looks even. Once it's dry, this is how my wheel is going to look, and I want to make these in a wreath. I decided to add some lamps here. I got these from Walmart, and they have these all year round. So I'm going to be adding two on one side of the wheel, both looking to different directions. And you can add hot glue, or you can try to attach these using the same wire. Next, I'm going to be using this type of flower. I don't know the name of these. Guys, if you know the name of these type of flowers or like stems, please let me know that in the comments. I'm not sure what is this. I just know that I got these from at-home stores on clearance from Christmas. It actually has a little bit of glitter, but it doesn't matter. I know that it's going to look great on my wreath. So I'm going to be cutting some pieces, and then I'm going to insert them and hot glue them close to the lamps here. Next, I'm going to be using these wreaths that I got from Amazon, guys, and I love them. They are real, and so I'm going to be adding a few of them. And also you can get them from Dollar Tree, but these are like a plastic version. They look a little bit fake, but I mean, it's okay if you want to work with that. You can add so many things, guys. You maybe can add pumpkins if you want. I decided to make these like pretty neutral. I know that it looks like for fall, but it doesn't have the pumpkins. I was really looking for that look, make things that looks perfect for fall but without pumpkins. And finally, I decided to use some raffia from Dollar Tree. I make a bow, and then I stick that in the middle of all of the greenery and the weeds and everything. And this is how my project turned out. It was super easy to make, and I really like it. You can use these on a fireplace, on the windows, or hanging from your front door. Making a wreath using this wood blend wreath from Dollar Tree. This is the biggest one they have, and it is perfect for this project. So I'm going to be decorating this wreath using Dollar Tree wreaths in two different colors, and I buy about 2 of each color. I will also be using these willows in color like this is like mustard color. I also get the Dollar Tree foxtail. I think it is beautiful and it is perfect for my wreath. So I bought 2 of these color, and I also get 2 in the mustard color. Okay, to be able to place them in my wreath, I'm going to cut each stem or wire apart, and I'm going to begin to place them around the wreath. You can use glue to peel them, but I don't think it's necessary. I think the key is on the wreath that you are using. I think this one is great for this project, and you can tangle the wires with the wreath, and that will work. First, I put the foxtails in my wreath, creating like a pattern with the 2 colors that I had. Then I'm going to be placing the willows, and I really love them because they add a lot of like volume to the wreath, and it's going to make it look bigger and full. And finally, guys, you can place the wreaths, interleaving the colors that you use. Remember that you can put more colors or more stems to your wreath if you want. And once you're finished, guys, this will be the result. I think it's one of my favorite projects, and I spent like $11 in this wreath, and I really love how it looks. It was very easy to do, and it looks amazing, and it's perfect for fall. This wooden pumpkin is a sign that you can get at Dollar Tree, and the first thing that I'm going to be doing is to remove the jute cord that has on the top. I'm gonna try to cover the hole that it has, and then I'm going to be using some tape because I want these to have two colors. So I decided to use this blue tape, and I'm gonna try to create a thick line on my pumpkin. Once I stick the tape, this is how it's going to look, and I decide to paint these using my wax in antique color, and I'm going to paint that part with the wax. You can use any color that you prefer if you want. You have so many options. It depends on what you're looking for, what match with your home decor. Next, I'm going to be drying these with my heat tool. It's going to dry super fast, and then you can remove the tape from your pumpkin, and this is how your pumpkin is going to look like. I already removed all of the vinyl that I don't need from the decals. Next, I'm going to add a transfer tape on top, and I'm going to be transferring my decals to my pumpkin. This is the way that I stick them, and I think it looks so beautiful. I want to add this sign to my wreath. So on the back side, I decided to add some hot glue, a piece of jute, and just for extra secure, I'm going to be adding some duct tape on the back part. I'm going to be using this giant wreath that I have and that I get from a thrift store, and I'm going to make a knot with the jute cord that I have to my wreath to attach the Hello Fall pumpkin sign that I just did. You can decorate your wreath in so many ways. I decided to do it super on a budget, so I'm going to be using these maple leaves that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be adding these stems on my wreath. I don't need to add any type of glue. This is going to stay well for a while. I'm going to be adding 4 in total of these maple leaves bushes, and then I'm also going to be adding these willows in this like mustard color, and I think it's going to really pop out. And you can also add heathers. You can add maybe some weeds if you want, and just add these to your wreath until you like how it looks. For the top of the pumpkin, for the stem, I decided to add a small piece of ribbon, also from Dollar Tree, that has this beautiful pattern. I just cut a small piece and I make a knot on the stem. And once I was done, I add my beautiful wreath to my front door, and this is how it's going to look. I think it's perfect, and I think it's going to welcome the fall into my home. I'm gonna try to recreate this beautiful eucalyptus wreath from the fall collection from Magnolia. I think it looks amazing. So you're going to need a ring, and you can use one of these ones from these tomato trellis, or you can use any wreath that you have at home. I actually have this one. It comes in a set of like 3, and it's from Dollar Tree too, but they have so many options there. So check on your Dollar Trees, or maybe you can use any wreath that you have. It's going to work too. So once I have this ring, I'm going to be using some of these eucalyptus branches. They look pretty similar to the ones from the Magnolia wreath, and I really like them. I got them from Amazon, and they are so cheap, and I think they are just perfect for fall. I love the quality and the color they have. So I'm going to be using these, and I'm going to be cutting some small pieces because I want to add them only on the bottom part of this wreath, just like the one from the Heart and Hand collection. I'm going to be using 2 branches to each side in opposite directions. On the middle of the wreath, I'm going to be cutting some small pieces of these eucalyptus leaves, and you can add maybe some hot glue to be able to stick them and make look your wreath fuller. And if you want, you can add these hot glue through the whole branches to make sure that they stick well, or you can roll it up on your ring like I did. Once I have that part ready, to be able to hang these, I decided to add a really nice touch using this faux leather ribbon from Dollar Tree. I just cut a small piece, and I'm going to stick that on the top of the wreath. Once I was done, this is how my project turned out, and I really like it. Of course, the link of these eucalyptus branches are in the description box. For this next project, I'm going to be using these natural wood slices that I got from Amazon, and they come in a package of 25 pieces. They are from a really good quality and they are really inexpensive, so of course I'm going to leave you the link in the description box of this video. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is to make a wreath out of these wood slices, and I got this idea from Pinterest. I saw a wreath made out of these wood slices and I need to try it, so I got mine from Amazon. And to start making my wreath, I'm going to be putting 5 of these wooden slices, leaving a small space between each one, and on top in those spaces I'm going to be adding 5 more of the wooden slices, and I'm going to be sticking them together. And for that I'm going to be using hot glue, but you can use wooden glue to really make sure that it's going to stick super well and strong. Next, I decided to use a little bit of this ribbon, and I'm going to be cutting a small piece to be able to stick all of the greenery in this ribbon. I'm going to be using this eucalyptus that is perfect now for fall. I'm going to be cutting some small pieces and then I'm going to start sticking them on my ribbon. And guys, I also got these eucalyptus branches from Amazon. They are really cheap and they have the most amazing quality. I highly recommend these, so the link is going to be in the description box of the video. Once I stick the small stems on the ribbon, I decided to add some more color. So I'm going to be using some lamps here, and I'm going to be adding a few leaves here and there, and I'm going to stick them with hot glue. Once I have all of the leaves, I'm going to be using some of these pumpkins. I got them last year from Dollar Tree and they come in a set of 3 for only $1. They're so beautiful, the perfect size, and I'm going to be sticking them on the center of these leaves. I'm going to stick them with hot glue and then I'm going to cover any space with more leaves. Once I was done, this is how they look, and this is perfect because I want to be able to reuse these wood slices, to reuse this wreath for maybe any other season, maybe for Christmas. So I decided to stick all of the leaves in a small piece of ribbon because now I can use some drawing pins to stick these on the wood. I think this is a genius idea if you want to maybe reuse this wreath for any other season. And using drawing pins is going to be so much easier to stick any kind of leaves in a small piece of ribbon, and you're not going to have any mess with the hot glue. You can do the same on the back side of this wreath. You can add a small piece of ribbon, add some drawing pins, and this is going to be more than enough to hang your wreath because the wood slices are not heavy at all. Once I was done, this is how my wreath turned out, and I'm so happy and impressed how this looks. I was inspired by a photo that I saw on Pinterest, and I'm really happy that I was able to recreate this and that it turned out amazing and on a budget. Project, I was inspired by this fall bleach with grass plant wreath from the Heart and Hand collection from Magnolia. It's $35 and it is 24 inches. I really like it, but I think it's too big. I want to make one for like the top of the cabinets on my kitchen, and I want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to be using these bamboo wreath that I just have, but of course you can use the ones from Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using these weights that I got from Amazon, and and they're pretty long for these wreaths, so I'm going to be cutting them to be able to add these to my wreath. And if you want, you can add hot glue, but with these type of wreaths, it's not necessary at all. You can push them throughout the wreath and it's going to be fine. It's going to stay there, it's not gonna move or go anywhere, and it works perfect. And guys, let me tell you, these weights are so good. They are so cheap and you can get them from Amazon. I have been looking for weights in so many places and they cost a lot. The ones from Dollar Tree are like plastic, and actually they're expensive if you compare them with this ones, because these come like 100 for less than $12 or $11. So of course I'm going to leave you the link of the ones that I have. You can get the link in the description box and on my Amazon favorites. I just use a few pics of these weights from my package and I think it looks amazing. This is a pretty small wreath, but you can do it bigger with the bamboo wreaths from Dollar Tree. I think it looks amazing. It's on a budget and it's perfect now for fall. My loves, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. These are 8 different wreaths that you can try now for fall. They are so easy and fun to make, and I just hope that you like them. Remember that all of the links of the weeds and leaves and things like that that I use are going to be in the description box of this video. This Sunday I'm going to be posting a new video on my other channel, JAZOMY Home, so make sure that you check that and that you are subscribed to that other channel too. The link is in the description, and follow me on all my social media pages. So many reels, photos, fun stuff, all of the links are in the description box. Thank you so much for the love and support, and mwah, see you in the next one. Bye.